Good morning. This is Open Source Software and Hardware DET 3107 Elective 1. Course outcomes: to have an introductory knowledge of concept of open and free software and hardware, introduction of the Arduino hardware, Raspberry Pi, Internet of the Things, IoT, to get an in-depth knowledge of Arduino software IDE, simple programs, interfacing of basic hardware modules with Arduino, to acquire the knowledge of interfacing and programming of the Arduino for ADC, DC motor, servo motor, Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi and PWM programming. To understand the details regarding LaTeX software with its installation, programming, processing, software facilities useful for various document preparation. To understand the details regarding Scilab software with its installation, programming, processing, console editor, graphics window, software facilities useful for various technical calculations. To study KiCad as an electronic computer-aided design ECAD tool for designing circuit schematic, electric rule checking, netlist generation, mapping components and designing PCB. So let us consider the next chapter, that is Scilab. So Scilab is scientific calculation laboratory. So just a second. So this is Scilab for beginners, and so this is the Scilab, which is a science laboratory, and this is software useful for doing the scientific calculations. Basically, it is very much useful for scientific and technical calculations. Please understand, scientific and technical calculations. So it can do very large calculations, mathematical calculation. It can have the in detail mathematical solutions. Okay. So basically, so for calculations we have to use, suppose, basic simple calculation, addition, subtraction, division. We are using calculators, isn't it? So Scilab is just like calculator. You can use it for calculating. But as we know, in scientific calculator, other than normal calculator, suppose calculator is there in the bank, so they will have simple addition, division, multiplication calculator. They are not having any derivative integration based calculator. Log, anti-log is not there on their calculators. Whereas engineering student or science student, they are having scientific calculator. You also may be having scientific calculator. On scientific calculator, we are having log, anti-log. So the facility is extended. So similar lot of mathematical calculations can be done using a software, and that programming language software is a Scilab. There are a lot of other many softwares are there, just like the proprietary software MATLAB is there, mathematical laboratory. Similarly, open source software Scilab is there. You can download it, you can install it, you can use it. It is doing almost all the features, calculations, and having all the features as that of the MATLAB. Scilab is also parallel to MATLAB. Similarly, Mathematica is there, and other many softwares are there, parallel proprietary softwares. Scilab is open source software. So Scilab is used for scientific and technical calculations. Okay, Scilab is used for scientific and technical calculations. So Scilab software is scientific calculations software. Okay. Then let us have the details of the Scilab software. So this is the document which I have shared with you on the Google Classroom. You can refer to it, and this is the index. So this document is for the guiding step by step for exploring the various basic features of Scilab for user. Okay, and Scilab is used for basically for numerical computation. So it is a numerical computation software. Okay. So Scilab installation is numerical computation software that anybody can freely download. Anybody can freely download it. Okay. Available under the Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Mac OS X. Scilab can be downloaded at following address. So this is the http://www.scilab.org. This is the website on which the software is available. Anybody can freely download it, anybody can install it, and anybody can use it. So Windows is one operating system, Linux is another operating system, Mac OS X is one more operating system. जनरली कॉम्प्युटरवर किंवा लॅपटॉपवर विंडोज असतात किंवा लायनक्स पण आहे. लायनक्स ही इज ओपन सोर्स ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम. आणि मॅक ओ एस ज्यांच्याकडे ॲपलचा लॅपटॉप असेल त्यावर मॅक ओ एस एक्स असतो. तर आपल्याला scilab.org वर गेल्या when you go on the scilab.org option will be asked, and if you are having window you can download the Windows based Scilab. If you are having the Linux you can download the Linux based Scilab, or you can EX based Scilab you can download. So this is about the Scilab, and detailed help and mailing list etc. are there, and some other complementary support documents are there to understand, to study the Scilab. The documents are also available. So what is there in the Scilab is there are 4 types of the windows. Okay, so 4 types of the windows are one is a console, second is a editor, third is a graphics window, and fourth is a help. Okay, so 4 type of the windows are there. One is a console window for making the calculations. So calculations are made on the console window, or any command is given on the console window. Then there is an editor window which is used to edit or write the program. Editor window is used for writing the program. So long program you can write on the editor, and single calculation steps or single in commands you can execute directly on console. So you can execute the command, single command each time on the console. One command is executed, then next command is executed, then again next command is executed. So on console, one by one command can be executed. All the long program can be executed on the console, no problem. But we have to execute one command at a time on the console. In the editor, you can put all the commands together. Whatever the large program, we can edit into editor, and we can execute the complete program with a single click in the editor. So what is the difference between console and editor? So console is for making the calculations and editor is for writing the program. Okay. So if we are having suppose 100 line program or 10 line program or any number of lines program, then one by one instruction we can execute on the console. You can write that instruction on the console and enter. Okay, enter means return key we have to use, press. In Windows and Linux, it is called enter key, and in Mac, Apple Mac, it is called return key. Okay, the same key is there, enter key or return key, carriage return it is called. So on console, we have to write one command and we have to enter it. Console will execute that command. Again on console, you have to write second command, you have to enter, it will execute. So if a 10 line program is there, one by one instructions will write on the console and enter, it will execute. Then next command, enter, execute, likewise. And in case of editor, we write all 10 commands in the editor, save the file, and in one click we run the program. We execute the program. All 10 lines, all 10 program commands are executed one by one in single click. So this is the editor. So editor is used to write the long programs, to edit the long program. So console is for making calculations, editor is for writing the programs, then graphics window is to display the graphics. So graphics may be some graph, bar graph will be there, pie graph will be there, or XY graph will be there, three-dimensional graphs are there. Okay, so any type of the graph, statistical graphs are there. Any type of the graphs you can display on the graphics window. You can display images also on the graphics window. Photographs you can edit, you can have the image processing on the images. Okay, you can filter it, you can filtering, and you can modify it, you can transform it. Okay, you can do the spatial and temporal and frequency domain processing analysis on the single two-dimensional, three-dimensional signals, images. Okay. Then we are having the help, which is also embedded in the same software. We are having the help in the same software. So there is a console for making the calculation, there is an editor for writing the program, there is a graphics window for displaying the graphics, and help for having the help. So general environment and console is like this. After double clicking the icon to launch the Scilab environment by default consists of the windows, docked windows. Docked means one window is here, second is here, third is here, fourth is here. All four are arranged like this. So see, this arrangement is called docking. So it is, they are docked windows. It is having console. So this is console, Scilab console. Files and variable browser is there. So this is files and variable browser. Okay, it is written here, file browser. This is a console. This is Scilab console. It is written here. Then command history is there. Okay. So this is the command history. Okay. And this is the variable browser. It is a variable browser. Okay, this is the variable browser written here. So all the variables generated will be listed here one by one. Suppose X is variable, Y is variable, A is variable, B is variable. Okay, temperature or pressure value or force value. Okay, so whatever the values, mass value in the calculation, scientific calculation. Okay, or current value, voltage value. So all these are variable are listed here in the calculation, and all the files are listed here. Okay, and this is the console, which is the execution is having the execution prompt here. It is called prompt. So you can observe here, this is the prompt, which is dash dash and arrow, greater than, dash dash and greater than. This is the prompt, okay, which is available here. Okay. Prompt. It is called prompt. So this is the different. These are the different windows. If you launch the Scilab, you will have the console window, file and variable browser, and command history window. Okay, and this is the prompt, prompt. Okay. We have to just type the command and press the enter key. We have to type the command and press the enter key. Enter key कशात म्हणतात? विंडो मध्ये आणि लायनक्स मध्ये त्याला एंटर की म्हणतात, आणि मॅक एक्स मध्ये त्याला रिटर्न की म्हणतात. त्यालाच म्हणतात, त्याच कीला आपल्या लॅपटॉपवर किंवा कॉम्प्युटरवर जी एंटर की असते किंवा कॅरेज रिटर्न असते त्याच्यावर असा ॲरो केलेला असतो रिटर्न कीवर, बरोबर आहे. तिथे एंटर असं लिहिलेलं असतं आणि ॲरो किंवा रिटर्न की लिहिलेलं असतं कशावर, जर ॲपलचा असेल तर. तर आपल्याला काय करायचं आहे, या प्रॉम्प्टच्या समोर कमांड लिहायचे आणि एंटर करायचं. यू विल गेट द calculation done. Okay, so suppose there is a prompt. So this is the prompt. In front of that we will write 57/4 and we will enter it. After this we will enter it. Enter, we will press the enter key. Then there will be display like A and S equal to 14.25. So this will be displayed, where this A and S is answer. For answer, 3 letters are displayed, A and S equal to. So this Scilab internally generates the variable named as A and S. Its answer. Okay. Otherwise also, instead of 57/4, you can write like this. Suppose A equal to 57/4. Then what will do? What the Scilab will do? Scilab will give the display like this: A equal to 14.25. So Scilab will give this display instead of previous display. Okay, why? Because as there is no variable in this case, directly 57/4 is written. So MATLAB is not having any variable to store this data result. So it is storing the result into answer variable. Internally generated variable is there with Scilab. Scilab is having one internally generated variable. It is called ANS, answer. Okay. So it will store every time the value calculated in ANS. If you do some other calculation, then it will store the value into ANS as a new value, and previous value will be wiped out. Previous value will be not available now. It is new value will be overwritten on that. So if we are having the assignment A equal to 57/4, then Scilab knows that variable A is assigned 57/4. Then it will give variable name equal to answer 14.25. Okay. So you can do this type of the calculation also, or you can do direct this type of the calculation. 57/4 is, suppose we have done 57/4 and answer will be displayed ANS equal to 14.25. Then we will do second calculation, this calculation. What is this? Into bracket 2 plus 9 bracket complete hat 5. That means 2.9 for 11 raised to 5, 11 to the power 11 to the power 5. So this is 11 into 11, 11 into 11 into 11 into 11, 5 times 11 multiplication. So it is not stored in any variable. So it will write the answer into ANS variable. So previous 14.25, it will be washed out. It will be wiped out, and new value 161051. This value will be stored into this variable. Okay. Now ANS equal to 161051 value will be stored into it, and old value 14.25 will be not retained, it will go away. Okay. But if you are having the variable a equal to 57 by 4, then b equal to 2 plus 9 raised to 5, then in a one value will be stored, in b another value will be stored. Both the values will be retained. Okay. So if you are not mentioning any variable, then result is stored in the answer variable. ANS is displayed for answer. Okay. It is internal variable. Now we have suppose executed first command 57 by 4, we have executed second command 2 plus 9 raised to 5 and so on. So we have executed suppose 100 or 200 commands or 10, 15 commands one after other. Now suppose we are to use again the same command one after some time, same command after some time, then again we have to rewrite the command. But the same command we may have executed previously. We can use that previously executed command history, command which is stored as a executed command in the memory. How to use that? It is possible to come back at the any moment with the keyboard's arrow key. So if we are having this arrow, this arrow, this arrow, this arrow, or with the mouse also, right, left, and scrolling wheel is there. The scrolling wheel up scroll, down scroll is there. So that आवाज आलेला आत्ता आत्ता बघू दे का the scrolling wheel of the mouse we can use for the same thing. We can scroll the mouse and we can use those commands. Again, suppose we have command 57 by 4 and second command 2 plus 9 raised to 5. Two commands we have executed. Then again after 2 plus 9 plus 2 plus 9 raised to 5, we can have up arrow to again regain the first command. Without writing, directly command will appear on the prompt. Okay, so we can use the arrow keys, or we can have the scroll of the mouse also. Mouse wheel scrolling is there. Okay. Left and right keys are used to change the instructions, and up and down keys are used to come back on the previously executed command. Okay. So we can change the instructions also, and we can have the up down keys for going through the previously executed command. Okay. So this way we can use the keys also, right, left as scroll also. Okay. Then we have seen the simple numerical calculation here, 57 by 4, 2 plus 9 raised to 5. Okay, we have seen this, isn't it? Then simple numerical calculations, all computations done on Scilab are numerical, because Scilab is basically science laboratory. It is for scientific calculation. Okay, all computations done with Scilab are numerical. Okay, so Scilab performs computations with matrices also. Okay, so with calculator we cannot do the matrix of calculation. Scientific calculator, it is not very easy, but in Scilab it is very easy. The operations written with plus is for addition, minus is for subtraction, asterisk, star is for multiplication, and slash is for division. Hat is for exponent, as we have used the hat also here, hat raised to 5, hat 5. So in this way, plus, minus, multiplication, division, and exponent we can use for simple calculations, numerical calculations. Okay. So 2 plus 3 is there, 2 plus 3. isn't it? 3.4, 2 plus 3.4. Simple. Addition is there. So 2 plus 3.4, 5.4 is answer. 2 plus 3.4, 5.4. And as there is no variable defined, it will be stored into answer variable. ANS, answer variable. Okay. So in this way, the numerical calculation can be done. Simple numerical calculation. Because computations done with the Scilab are numerical. Okay. Then Scilab is a case sensitive. It is a case sensitive. That means it differentiate small a and capital A. Both are not same for the Scilab. It will differentiate the small b and capital B. Both are different for the Scilab. So it is case sensitive. So whenever any command is there, like sqrt small, we cannot go for any capital S or capital Q or capital R or capital T or all capital. This will give error. So sqrt all small means that command should be given with all small letters because it is case sensitive. Okay, it is case sensitive. Scilab is case sensitive. Any software is case sensitive, then we have to maintain the uppercase or lowercase. We have to respect the uppercase and lowercase. We have to respect the uppercase and lowercase. Thus, it is necessary to respect uppercase and lowercase for the calculation to perform it properly. For example, sqrt command is for square root. So you can give in front of prompt sqrt into bracket 9, answer will be 3. While capital sqrt into bracket, it will give error, undefined variable sqrt. Okay. So it is case sensitive, we have to respect the uppercase and lowercase. Then there are particular numbers. Okay. Particular numbers are there. So as we know, E is the some constant, pi is also some constant. Okay, E is exponential, pi is the 22/7 constant. So those constant we can use directly into calculation with this particular way. So in front of prompt, if you write the %e or %pi, so %e and %pi can be used to generate the values, because in %e value of exponential is there, and in %pi the value of pi is there, 22/7, 3.1415927. So in %e value is stored as 2.7182818. And in %pi value stored is 3.1415927. So in calculation, suppose pi r square is there. Okay, pi r square, pi into r square. Suppose we have stored in r value. We can use r as a variable, or if you want directly, you can put the value of radius. Suppose area is to be calculated, so we can write this %pi multiplied by, so this is multiplied by star r square. Suppose r is say 2 square, 2 hat 2. So this will give answer its area. Okay, pi it will take 3.1415927, and 2 square 2 4 it will give whatever the answer, isn't it? 4 multiplied by pi, it will be the area, that will be the answer. In this way, we can directly use the value of pi as %pi. Similarly, value of exponential exponent as %e, 2.7182818. Okay. Similarly, we can represent percent I as I of complex. Okay. As we know, I of complex is I equals to root of -1, isn't it? As we know, complex numbers in which I is root of -1. So this root of -1 value is represented by I into the complex number. Okay. Suppose this is 2 plus 3I. Okay. So in this way, 2 plus 3I, this I is imaginary number. Magnitude of imaginary number is 3 and I is a imaginary number. So percent I represent I of complex and in input and complexes in input and displays I in the output. Okay. सो पर्सेंटाइज जेव्हा आपण देऊ तेव्हा तो इनपुटला कॉम्प्लेक्स मधला आय अज्युम करतो आणि तो डिस्प्ले जेव्हा करायचे असेल त्याला त्यावेळेस तो आय म्हणून डिस्प्ले करेल स्मॉल आय. ओके. नाउ सपोज आपण इनपुटला दिलं, सपोज दिस प्रॉम्प्ट इज देअर अँड 2 is real number plus 3 into percent I. 3 into percent I means 3 is the magnitude and I is the imaginary number. Okay. So in this way it can have the answer 2 plus 2.0 plus 3 point I. 2 plus 3 into I. This is the answer. 2 is the real number, 3 is the magnitude of imaginary and I is the imaginary number. So in this way we can have the particular numbers which can be used into the calculations. Then for displaying the results, till now we have discussed that we can write 57 by 4 and enter. We can write 2 plus 9 caps 5 and enter. Each time it will display the result, answer, isn't it? We can even have a equal to 57 by 4, then it will display a equal to 14.25, display the result. Okay. Then we can write 2 plus 3.4, it will display 5.4. But if you don't want this display, each type, so suppose there is a calculation 2 plus, suppose a equal to 2 plus 3, a equal to 5. If you execute it, it will display it as a 5. But if you don't want this, a equal to 2 plus 3, okay, a equal to 2 plus 3 may be 5, a equal to 5. I don't want to display it. You keep, Mr. Computer, you keep with you. And you can use it in the next calculations. Wherever a comes, you can substitute 5. So don't display it. So if you want not to display it, if you don't want to display it, then you can have a semicolon for not displaying the results. Okay, for not displaying the results, we can add the semicolon. We can add the semicolon at the end of command line. At the end of command line, we can add the semicolon. Okay, so command line is there and we can add the semicolon. The calculation is done, but the result is not displayed. Calculation is done, but result is not displayed. Okay. So command line is there, and 1 plus sqrt 5 divided by 2. Okay, and there is a semicolon. Just observe it carefully. Before this, there was no semicolon anywhere after prompt. Okay, so here it is not semicolon. Okay, here it is not semicolon after the command line. But after this, in front of prompt, if you write the command, there is a semicolon at the end. So this is delimiter. So this delimiter will not display the result. It will calculate it and store into ANS answer. ANS. It will store into ANS answer 1.6 whatever 1.618034. Okay, it will store into ANS answer, but it will not display it. Okay, but if we are not using the semicolon, it will display it. 1 plus SQRT5 divided by 2. Answer is 1.618034. It will display it on the monitor, on the console itself, in the console only. Okay, so if we give the semicolon after the command, it will not display the result. But if we do not give the semicolon after the command, it will display it on the console as a result. Okay. Then there is a special facility of reminding the name of function. The function name, it reminds automatically. Suppose we want to use ready-made function factorial. So as soon as we type the FACTO, automatically it shows all the functions with that particular starting. FACT start functions are there, factorial and factor. So it will show both, and we can select appropriate whatever we want. So the names of commonly used functions are, there are many functions. Whenever we go for the mathematical functions, we can check in the chapter 3, page number 32 on this document. But for example, exp, exponential of 10, exp 10 divided by factorial 10. So if you write, suppose ex, it will generate the exp. If you write FACT, if you start writing FACT, automatically it will display factorial and factor functions. So you can select one of them, whatever you require. Okay. So the names of commonly used functions are there. So it can, these are all are available functions, and we can also find it in the menu, Scilab help menu. Okay. So some available functions are exp, exponential 10 divided by factorial 10. So this is e raised to 10 divided by 10 factorial. Okay, and whatever the calculation answer will be there. So tab key can be used. So as we know, on the keyboard there is a tab key. So like this, tab key is there on the keyboard, which is having this symbol. Okay, on tab, if you check on the tab key, this symbol is there. So the tab key on the keyboard can be used to complete the name of the function. Suppose if you enter the FACT and press the tab, it can show fact as a factorial and factor, and we can select one of them with the mouse or up down keys. Okay, you can use up down keys, select any particular, press the enter or press the return button, or just double click on that particular with the mouse. Also you can select whether you want to select the factorial or you want to select the factor command. So multiple commands, whatever different commands are there which starts with the FACT, it will show all these commands, and appropriate command we can select. So this is if we write the incomplete command and press the tab key, it will display all the commands which are having those letters FACT. Okay, for example, we'll press type some function name very few letters. For example, on the console command, if you type FACT, press the tab key, and then the window will variables, functions, variable names beginning with the fact can be displayed, like factorial, factor, etc. Then you can double click, or you can use the up down keys and press enter, or press the return. Okay, so this facility is there, just for reminding the different functions. Ready-made functions are there. Then menu bar is there. Okay, the menus listed are useful as suppose applications, edit, etc. The command history allows you to find all the commands from the previous sessions to the current session. Okay, so as we have seen, there is a command history, and on command history window all the previous commands are displayed, are seen, which sequentially will display the commands in which sequence we have executed one after other. Okay, so whatever the sequence of the execution of the commands in the console are there, that sequence is stored in the command history. Okay, so if you see here, there is a command history. This is the command history. Suppose first first command is executed, that will be displayed here. Next command is executed, that will be again displayed. First is again written, next is displayed. And the third command is executed, first, second are retained, and third will be displayed now. Then fourth will be displayed. All the previous commands will be displayed here. Okay, so this is the command history window. Okay, so command history allows you to find all commands from previous sessions into the current session. And the variable browser is there, that allows to find all the variables previously used during the current session. All the variables previously used during current session. So variable browser is also there. Okay, so this is variable browser. Okay, all the variables are displayed, all the commands are displayed, all the variables used are displayed, all the commands are displayed. Okay, then in the edit window, there is application window, there is having the command history and variable browser. In edit window, preferences are there. In Scilab menu under Mac OS allows you to set customize the color, font, customize the fonts, customize the font size in the console, in the editor, and then that will be useful for screen projection. Okay. Then there is a button, clear console, that consoles the entire content of the console, or you can give the command also. Okay, we can click it. Clicking on the clear console, we can clear all entire content of the console. Suppose we have executed 57/7, then %pi, then we have entered, then we have %e we have entered, then we have 2 plus 3i into 3 asterisk %3 asterisk %i. Okay, so 2 plus 3 asterisk into %i. Then that will be executed. Then a equal to 22/7, that is executed. Then b equal to 2 plus 5 3, that is executed. So many commands are executed one by one. So there are lot of commands which are available on the console. If you want to clear that console, what we have to do? We have to click the clear console button. It will clear the console. Console will be blank now. It will clear the console. Okay, the entire content of the console can be clear. But in this case, the command history is still available, and calculations made during the session remain in memory. In command history, all the commands executed will still available in the memory. Okay. The command that has been erased are still available through keyboard's arrow keys. The commands which are erased in the console are also available with the keyboard's arrow keys. Suppose console is made clear, okay, blank. Console is made blank, clear console. Console is now blank. Suppose 10, 20 instructions are executed or 100 instructions are executed and console is made blank. Console will not have any content now. Console is blank. Okay, clear console is used. But still, if we use the arrow key, the previous all the commands will be available with us without any typing. Directly with the arrow, we can find out the previous commands. Okay, all the previous commands. They are available in the memory, and in this way they can be fetched with the arrow keys. So erase the even though the commands have been erased, still they are available through keyboard's arrow keys. Okay, in the edit. So these are some editing facilities. So these are the editing facilities. Then there is a control of execution. Control of execution means what? If you are executing, then you can interrupt in between or you can stop the execution. That is the control on the execution. You can pause the execution. You can resume again. You can abort the execution, stop in between execution. Okay, you can pause and resume also. You can interrupt also. This is called the control on the execution. To interrupt a running program, you can have to type the PAUSE in the program and click on the control interrupt in the menu bar. In menu bar there is a control is there and under that the interrupt is there. Just like in the edit we are having clear console. We can click. Just like in the application menu we are having the command history, we can having the variable browser. Okay. In the edit there is a preferences. Okay. We can change the colors and the font size and in the preferences. Clear console button is there in the edit. Similarly under control button or control menu, the bar menu, the interrupt a running program is there. You can have the pause. You can have the control interrupt in the program. We can click that interrupt in the menu. Control X can be used in the window. If we are having the window, we can have the Control X. And Linux also we can use the Control X. But in Command X under the Mac OS X. Type the pause in the program or click on the control interrupt in the bar menu. We can have the Control X under the window on Linux and Command X under the Mac OS. If the program is already running, then we can pause it. If the program is already running, then we can pause it. Okay, we can click the control interrupt, we can type the pause. Okay. In those all cases, the prompt will turn to dash dash arrow, will turn to dash 1 arrow, then dash 2 arrow and so on if the operation is repeated. If control X 2 times repeated, if 1 times repeated it is dash 1 dash arrow, 2 times repeated dash 2 dash arrow. Okay. So this prompt will display the pause, how many times it is paused. It is 1 time pause, 2 times pause, and 10 times pause, whatever. So the number in the dashes of the pause will indicate how many times it is paused. To return to the time prior to the program interrupt, type resume. You can type PAUSE pause. Also you can type RESUME resume. Okay. Or you can click on the console. There is a control menu and there is an interrupt menu. Similarly, there is a control menu and resume menu. Okay. So there is a control menu, there is a resume menu. Okay. So we can click the control and we can click the resume. Class नंतर करतो. We can click the control and we can click the resume. Okay. So there are buttons, there are menu, resume menu and there is pause menu or interrupt menu. Similarly, to quit for a good calculation without any possibility to return, completely quit the program. Type ABORT and enter. Or on the console, click on Control Abort menu. So there is a control and abort menu, there is a control and pause menu, control and resume menu. Pause is there, it will stop the program, but there is a possibility to again come back into the program. Pause is there which stops the program, but there is a possibility of coming back into same program. Whatever the variables, whatever the calculations, they are retained into the memory. So how to come back into the program? By clicking the resume button or by executing the resume, RESUME. So we can have control interrupt, we can have control resume. During control interrupt, program is still available in the execution stage and it is not completely quit. But in case of quit, okay, to quit for good calculation without any possible returns. So for quitting completely, we are using control abort. So in that case, completely the program is stopped and comes out, quits. So again that program execution, the details of the variables, etc. will not be gained. Okay, they all will be lost. They are not now available in this memory. So complete quit is also there. Pause, that is interrupt, is there and resume is there and complete quit abort is also there. Okay. Then in editor case, editor is also there. So menu bar is there. Okay. Then the editor window is also there in editor. Typing directly into a console is possible, isn't it? Directly we can type on the prompt in the console, whatever the command you want to give and enter it. Type and enter. So it will give execution. It will do execution and prompt will be appearing. Again write the command and again enter. So this you can do for all the commands. Suppose we are having in our program 100 commands, one after other. Then we can give on the console first command, enter it, second command, enter it, third command, enter it, like 100 times. It is also possible. Okay. But it is having disadvantage. Typing directly on the console has two disadvantages. It is not possible to save the commands and it is not easy to edit multiple lines of instruction. Two difficulties are there, two disadvantages. So writing the command on the console, that is prompt, typing directly into the console, that is on the prompt, two disadvantages are there. It is not possible to save the command. We execute and we forget it. But if you write it in the editor, it is saved into the file always. Whenever you open the file, the command you have written is available. Okay. So it is not possible to save whenever we use the console prompt directly executing the command. And second disadvantage, it is not easy to edit the multiple line of instruction. If the multiple line of instruction is there, so say 100 lines are there, instruction lines, and 50 lines are there, it is not easy. One by one you have to write it. So these are the disadvantages. Not possible to save, not easy to edit the multiple lines. The editor is appropriate tool to run the multiple instructions. That's why the editor is the appropriate tool to run the multiple instructions. So we have seen the console is there, editor is there, then graphics window is there, and embedded help is there. Help is there. So console is for single individual command execution. Editor is there, which is group of commands can execute. 100 line program you can execute, 1000 line program you can execute, 10 line program you can execute. Okay. So editor is useful to write all the commands together, execute it in one click. So console and editor we have discussed in detail previously. Same thing is there. So if you use the console, and you can use the editor. If you use the console, you can use the editor. Directly console use केला तर दोन डिसएडवांटेज आहेत. सेव्ह करत नाही कमांड आणि इझिली मल्टिपल लाईन्स एडिट करता येत नाहीत. अँड द एडिटर इज अप्रोप्रिएट टूल टू रन द मल्टिपल इन्स्ट्रक्शन. एडिटर जे आहे विंडो किंवा एडिटर जो आहे तो अत्यंत चांगला टूल आहे की ज्याच्यामध्ये मल्टिपल इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स आपण लिहू शकतो आणि एडिट करू शकतो. सो दिस इज एडिटर. ओके. सो या कन्सोल विंडो मध्ये आपण पाहिलं की देयर इज अ कन्सोल विंडो. ओके. ऍक्च्युअली दिस इज अ कन्सोल विंडो. Scilab console, isn't it? This is console window. So in this console window, the Scilab console is there, prompt is there. Along with this Scilab console, there is a file browser. This is the file browser. And there is a variable browser. And there is a command history. All these small windows are docked together. Docked means they are arranged one side to other or one above other. Okay. So all these are arranged. That is called docking. DOCK. Dock. So this is console window. This is one window. Console. Scilab console. Okay. This is one window. Similar to the console, there is a editor. Console is there. Then editor is there. Then graphics window is there and help window. So these are the different windows. So one window is console, here we are saying. Similarly, console, editor, graphics and help is there. So as we know, console can be used for calculation. Editor is used for again command writing and calculation. But in console, one by one we have to execute. In editor, group of commands you can simultaneously write and we can one click execute it. Similarly, the graphics window is there, separate window. And help window is also there. So there are different windows. Okay, console window is there, editor window is there. Here only we have seen the console window. Along with console window, in console window only we are having the file browser, variable browser, command history, etc. So this is Scilab console, isn't it? So this is console window. So console is there, editor is there, graphics window is there and help is there. So these are the four different windows. Okay. There are four different windows are there. Console window, editor window, graphics window and help window. One by one we will see. Okay, so we have seen some details of console window, how to use that console window, how the prompt is there, how to write the command in front of prompt, what is the use of semicolon, isn't it? What are the mathematical formulae? What are the mathematical operations? Okay, plus, minus, asterisk, slash, hat. All these we have seen. How the constants can be used. The percent pi, percent pi, percent e, percent I. All these can be used, isn't it, in the calculation? Then how variable can be used? A equal to 3, 2 plus 3 you can use. B equal to 5 plus 7. Okay, so A will be variable, B will be variable. If you are not uh, declaring the variable directly, you are writing 57 by 2, then it will give you answer value stored into answer variable, which is internally generated variable, ANS, answer variable, isn't it? All this we have seen, which is on the console, and we have started the editor also. We have seen some of the editor details. So okay, we'll stop here for today, and we continue this lecture. This is our fourth chapter, Scilab. We have started today. Okay. Thank you.